So if you bought a camcorder that records to tape, chances are you probably got it because you like the look of the video footage, the uniqueness and the retro look of it. But what if there was a way you could take that uniqueness and retro look and give it a film look to it? Well, that's what Dehancer's for, and we're going to take a look at it here today. Coming up. Hey there, welcome back to my camera collection. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Dehancer. Now, Dehancer is a plugin program that works with OFX, Final Cut Pro, Adobe After Effects, and Adobe Premiere Pro, along with Photoshop and Lightroom. I will show you how to set it up, along with some of the things that I like and dislike about it. And I'll also be showing you some examples from a few different cameras and formats. So with that being said, let's get into today's video. So before we go any further, the people over at Dehancer reached out to me to do an honest review for them, so that's what we're here to do today. But I also like the program, or plugins. It can give your footage a very unique and personalized look, and it's highly editable. I think it's just a great plugin overall. I think this program will be great for anybody who is shooting independent films or don't have a budget for Hollywood film cameras. So this emulates a lot of different kinds of film cameras, specifically like Polaroid and like old digital picture cameras. Has a lot of grain and stuff like that in it. You can make your footage look very unique and very retro looking. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I think it would give old video footage from mini DV, high 8, VHS a very unique look to it, where you can kind of take the VHS look, we'll say, and you can lay over a film look for it and give it a very much more retro, unique look to the footage. So that's what Dehancer kind of does. I'll show you how to set it up here on the computer. So let's hop on over and get started on that. Okay, so once you have your editing software loaded up and ready to go, I use Adobe Premiere Pro, so I'll be showing you how to do this in Adobe Premiere Pro. I recorded a few different clips. I recorded with 3 different cameras. I recorded a clip with my Canon M50, which is a mirrorless camera. I recorded a clip with my Sony PC100, which is a mini DV camera. And I recorded a clip with my Panasonic PV420, which is a VHS camera. Just to give you some perspective and to see how different video formats look like. Let's go over and grab the clip I had with the Canon M50. So here's one of them. They're pretty basic little clips, but I just wanted to use them for example clips. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not gonna use the audio on it just because it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna take the clip and I'm just gonna drop it on my timeline. And then once you have it on your timeline, as long as you have it selected, you can come up here to your controls panel. So you'll have to go to their website and download the software, have your computer run it and all that, and have it downloaded to your system. It's not like its own separate program. It pretty much just adds presets to Adobe Premiere Pro. And I'll show you what I mean, because when I first downloaded it, I thought it downloaded like an icon to my desktop and all that kind of stuff, and it doesn't. The only way you'll see that it is downloaded is if you hit the controls panel here. Excuse me, wrong control effects panel. Go to this effects panel and then go to video effects, and you'll go down and find film emulation. So go ahead and click that, and you'll see that it says Dehancer Pro version 1.3. So you can drag and drop, and now it's ready to be messed with. You can see that it kind of changed a little bit. It's ready to be messed with and add film emulations and stuff like that. So then you'll go up here and push this effects controls panel, and you can go down and you can see all of these different inputs: film developer, compression, expand, print, color grain, color head, color grain, Halations, bloom, vignetta, I never know how to pronounce that. Film breadth, gateway, false color, output. There's a lot of different things that you can mess with here. But you'll come down to the bottom and it'll say license info. So you'll have to put in like your email and stuff like that to verify that you have an account with it and that you have you can verify your purchase, and then it will get rid of the Dehancer watermark that is here within the free trial. So if you go into input and film, this is where you can start changing the presets. So input, You can go to record 709. That's what it sits at, but there's all these different ones here. This one, and it changes the image over here, as you can see. A few different ones. So you can go in here and you can select all these different kinds of film cameras, like the Canons, Blackmagics. These are all like cinematic movie cameras that you can choose, or you can choose like DJI drones look like. So it doesn't obviously make your footage look like it came from a drone, you know, up in the sky, but the way that the camera looks on DJIs, your clip will look like that, if that makes sense. Lots of different Sonys and all that. You can pick and choose between all those, but I'm just going to keep it at the record 709 just to make it easy on us. So once you're done with that and you want to pick your cinematic movie camera or your cinematic camera that you want to use, you can come down to film, and then you can choose all of your different kinds of film cameras. So there's a whole bunch in here that you can choose from. I recommend just going through and just checking them all out and see which ones that you find the most interesting to you. But once you choose it, you can edit them how you want as well. But they're kind of just like a template that you can play with, if that makes sense. Fujifilm Instax. Now, I'm going with this because my wife actually owns a Fujifilm Instax SQ6. And you can see that it changes the color over here. And then if you want to, you can just leave it as it is, and you don't have to do any form of editing if you want to be lazy or you just like the way that it looks already. But if you want to make things look a little bit more dramatic, give it an extra film look to it, you can come over to here and you can start picking and choosing through these here settings that you can change it to. So one of the cool things that you can do on here is the film grain. So you can choose the size of the film grain and make it look really big or really small. Now the thing is when you're in this editing software through here, you have to make sure you go down and hit enable. If the enable box isn't checked, you won't see any of your presets over here change at all here. And you'll be like, what's like, it's not doing anything. Yeah, just make sure that it's enabled and you'll be able to see everything that you're editing. So yeah, you can choose the size of the grain and you can choose the amount. So you can make it really grainy, as you can see here. It gets pretty dramatic if you overstep everything. But I mean, like, if you want it to look crazy and dramatic, you can make it look like that. I would go down to there, and then you can choose how much grain you want within the shadows, so like the dark areas of it. So you can see, like, if you take it down to 0, the dark areas have no grain to it at all, or if you take it all the way up, the dark areas of the video have, you know, plenty of grain. So you can balance that out how you want. I kind of like it without the grain in the dark areas, and then you can change it within the midtones as well, and the highlights and the chroma. And I'm not a professional at film cameras at all. I don't really know all the terminology on it, so some of this stuff I don't exactly know the terms for, so I apologize for that. I've just never really messed with film cameras that much. And then the halation enable if you want to play with the halation. So the halation, you can kind of change it. It gives objects a bit of a glow, and you can make it pretty dramatic. Some of the things are very minor changes, and some of them are very big changes. Like the local diffusion, you can see, wow, look at the amount of orange glow that everything has on it there. So you can play around with that and make it exactly how you want it. But let's go down, let's make it at about, I'm gonna do 25 there, just to give it a little bit. I know a lot of old film cameras have this orange glow to it when you take pictures and stuff to them. It almost kind of gives it like it gives it a very retro look to it. And then you can see here that it gives it, like the background and stuff, more of an orange glow. And it can get very dramatic very fast. So I recommend doing very small increments of editing. You can amplify the orangeness as well and just make it crazy orange. Along with the hue, kind of gives it more of a green or a red look to it. I kind of like the red a little bit more. I'm going to keep it at 0. You can change the impact on it as well. It amplifies how much there is there as well. You can come in and mess with the vignette as well. I'm just kind of looking at some of my favorite presets here. I'm not going to look at all of them just because there's so many to go through. Enabling it, you can kind of see it darkens the corners just a tad, then you can play with it as well. Going up obviously makes it very overexposed. And then bringing it down makes it very underexposed, although I kind of like the way that looks. I'm going to leave it at negative 1.5. I really like the way that looks. It's very kind of, it's dramatic looking. You got the size of it. Feather kind of just gives it like this, I don't know, if you take it all the way down to 0, it just makes like a circle, and then you can bring it up gradually, so whatever's centered. And then this one is the aspect ratio, so you can kind of see it makes it right in the middle, or like going vertical where it's light. If you take it all the way down, it's horizontally kind of more light, I guess. Center X, you can move it from left to right. The light source, I'm going to leave that right in the middle. And then Y obviously is up and down with the light source. I'm also going to leave that. I like where that's sitting. And those are some of the things that you can play around with and make it look a little bit more dramatic. So make sure you render it so that way it plays nicely and you can kind of get an idea of what it will look like before you have your whole video processed and continue editing other clips within your video. You can go ahead and play it and see what it looks like. I think it looks really good. I like the way that it looks. Very retro looking, that's for sure. So for the next clip, I'll go ahead and grab the Sony PC100 clip. We'll go over to the Dehancer Pro, drag it and drop it onto our timeline. Oh, it made it really blue, and I don't like blue. It's very cold. This clip's already very cold. On this one, I'm going to pick a different cinema camera. I don't know a lot about cinema cameras either, but I do know that the C200 is a very nice camera. We'll go with the Canon C200 Log 3. So then we can go in and grab another kind of film camera. And I don't remember which one I seen the other day. Okay, so for this one, I picked the Kodak Ektar 25 Experimental 1996. I don't want to say graininess, but it's kind of sharp. The like the darks, the blacks are very sharp looking in my opinion. So again, I'm just going to go down to the film grain. This one I'm going to make a little bit more grainy, I think. I'm going to have it the size all the way up to 12, and then the amount up to 25. And when the video plays, you should be able to see some grain moving around. I'm going to take the grain out of the... Yeah, I'm going to take it out of the blacks again. I really like the halation on it. I just really like that it gives it this nice orange glow to it. Gives it a little bit more of a warm feel to it. A little bit more of a cozy feel, if you feel me. But I'm going to leave it as that right there. Let's go back in here, actually, because I think I'll change the hue to more of an orange or more of a red. And I think I'm going to have it more of a red. The blue composition, I'm going to keep that down. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and render it again. Okay, so now let's take a little bit of a comparison to these two clips. So this is the Canon M50 here. Oh man, I really like the way that it looks with more modern cameras, that's for sure. Very warm. This would be great with the shutter speed turned down on it. It would give it a great looking, kind of an 8mm film look to it. So that's that one. Let's take a look at the Panasonic PV420. I really like the way that plants look with it. The sunshine on plants, where the sun or like light reflects off of like the leaves and stuff. That's where it really gives it a good, that orange glow look to it. I just, man, I really like it. So let's see what we do with this one. I don't want to do more of a blue color. I really want a warm color or some form of a pinkish red color on this one. So let's go into our effects, grab our Dehancer Pro and place it on our clip. And then we can go into our effects controls up here, go to our input, and there was a one that I just seen that was through here. So this one's the Asus CCT AP1. I really like the way that that looks. This gets me all excited here. So I want to choose a different one here. I'm looking for something that's a little bit more pinkish red, I think. So okay, I think I'm going to go with the Fujichrome Velvia 50. That one's a little warm in the background, but we'll see what we can do here. So I'm going to go to color head, and I'm going to try and make it a little bit more warm. Oh yeah, I'm going to take the red up to 20, 22 there. Yeah, that one's a little dramatic, but I like it. Let's look at the green. Yeah, let's make the green -15. Kind of makes it more of a purplish pink. I like it. These are just some plants that I have around my house, so just some quick clips to show you guys. So I'm going to do -3 on the yellow. Well, I guess you got yellow and blue. I definitely think I'm going to keep the grain size small on this one, but the amount, upscale it. Go down to 75, huh? Yeah, I like that. I'm going to make it kind of intense here. Again, I'm going to take it out of the shadows. And we'll check out the halation again. I think I just want a little bit of the halation on the local diffusion. Trying to get it just where I want. And as the clip moves, you'll be able to see more of it. Let's do like 45 on it. Might be a little bit too much. And then I think I'm going to add a little bit of vignette. Vignette? I don't know. I never know how to pronounce it, and I feel stupid because of it. Just a little bit. -3. We'll leave it right there. Now, film breath, if I remember right, it gives it that... when you watch like old 8mm or Super 8 clips or video footage, you can kind of see like the little white spots that kind of... The best way I can describe it is like it sparkles a little bit. So you can kind of see like the little imprints and imperfections in the video. So I think that's what film breath does. We'll have to render the video and see how that looks. And then I think the color makes it, like the little imprints and the sparkles and stuff, you give it more color or more like black and white if you go towards 0 on it. Let's leave it as it is because it's looking pretty dramatic here. And let's render it and see how it turns out. Now, I am no professional at editing, so if anybody out there thinks that my editing looks terrible, I apologize. I apologize for the bad audio. My screen recorder that I've been using isn't the best, and I'm having technical difficulties, so I'll be doing a voiceover for the rest of this video. So those are some of the things that you can do with Dehancer, and I want to thank Dehancer again for reaching out to me to do this review. And if you like editing more on your phone or just want to make stuff more for social media content like TikTok or Instagram, they also have a mobile app as well that you can check out. It's free to download, and there's lots of features in it. You can pay a monthly subscription to get more features in it, but the free subscription is great to use, and I find it a very good app. It's very similar to how you would edit on Adobe Premiere Pro. It's just on your phone, and super easy to edit, and you can download it straight to your gallery and post it where you want. So this program is $400 if you want to get the whole thing, but I do believe you can piece together the package if you want. You can pick and choose things that you want. Certain packages that are a lower price, but you just don't get everything, all the bells and whistles and all that. So you can look at that and see what you want and what you don't want, and maybe that would work better for you. And another thing I don't really care for that much is the enable button. On every single feature that you want to try editing, you have to enable it. And I don't know, I just don't see why there's a need for an enable button. It just kind of gets in the way and it slows down your process of editing. But all in all, this program is great for anybody who is a beginner and all the way up to a professional at editing videos. It's great if you want to just copy and paste some presets to your videos and make them look a little bit more retro, or if you want to go super in depth and edit them very detailed and exactly how you want. So it's perfect for people who are beginners at editing and great for people who are professionals at editing. Thank you, Dehancer, for letting me check out this plugin. And if you want to check it out for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description so you can go and check out the free trial and get it for yourself if you want. And make sure you check out the mobile app that they have out if you want to do some phone editing for your pictures or videos. So hopefully this video inspires you to go out and make some interesting retro videos or take some retro photos. And if you enjoyed the content, make sure you like this video, because we talk about old school retro camcorders pretty much on a weekly basis, and check out plugins that make your footage look very retro. So on that note, we'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.